Welcome to the fascinating world of history unfolded, in which we will talk about Apadana. Apadana is a large, hypostyle hall in Persepolis, Iran. It belongs to the oldest building phase of the city of Persepolis in the first half of the 6th century BC, as part of the original design by Darius the Great. Its construction was completed by Xerxes I. Modern scholarship demonstrates the metaphorical nature of the Apadana reliefs as idealized social orders. As a word, Apadana is used to designate a hypostyle hall, that is, a palace or audience hall of stone construction with columns. The word is rendered in Elamite as ha-ha-dana, and in Babylonian Apadaan is etymologically ambiguous. It has been compared to the Sanskrit Apadana, which means to arrive at, and also to the Sanskrit apada, which means a hideout or concealment, and the Greek apotheke, meaning storehouse. The word survived into later periods in Iran as the Parthian palace, and outside Iran it still survives in several languages as loanwords. The Apadana Palace in Susa was built during the reign of Darius around 521 to 515 BC, and by his order on the Elamite relics in Susa. The walls of this palace are made of clay with a brick facade, and its columns are made of stone. Its inner walls were covered with glazed bricks and featured soldiers of the Eternal Guard, a winged lion, and a lotus flower. Important parts of the Apadana Palace caught fire during the reign of Artaxerxes I, 461 BC, and were rebuilt during the reign of Artaxerxes II, 359 BC. The Apadana was the largest building on the terrace at Persepolis and was excavated by the German archaeologist Ernst Herzfeld and his assistant Friedrich Krefter and Erich Schmidt between 1931 and 1939. Important material relevant to the excavations are today housed in the archives of the Freer Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C. The Apadana at Persepolis has a surface of 1,000 square meters. Its roof was supported by 72 columns, each 24 meters tall. The entire hall was destroyed in 331 BC by the army of Alexander the Great. Stones from the columns were used as building material for nearby settlements. By the start of the 20th century, only 13 of these giant columns were still standing. The re-erecting of a complete but fallen column in the 1970s is now the 14th standing column of the Apadana. The Apadana in Susa was, like the city itself, largely abandoned and pillaged for building material. The Apadana Hall influenced the Umayyad architecture. Early mosques built in Persia and Iraq imitate this structure. Stay tuned for more interesting episode of History Unfolded.